If you're 16 to 25, you can probably relate to this. You spend hours a day scrolling through your phone and you want to work on your online business, but you keep switching your focus from the work that you need to do and you keep switching over to your phone. You don't think that this is a huge problem, but deep down you know that you could be doing better. If you can't focus, if you can't work, then you are destined to be a failure. You'll spend the rest of your life trapped in a job that you hate, and you'll end up forever reliant on the digital crutch that is your phone. And here's the problem. You've saturated your mind with content. You've saturated your brain with dopamine. This is called overstimulation. And back when I was 16, I set up numerous businesses. I started out with dropshipping, then I went on to print on demand. I tried SMMA. I tried all kinds of different businesses, but I was never able to stick at those businesses, and I was never able to be consistent with them because I was completely addicted to scrolling through my phone. I was addicted to the dopamine spike that would come with watching content, with watching porn, with looking at memes. And I am the most productive I have ever been in my life right now, and have been so for the past year and a half, ever since I got rid of social media. So by the end of this video, I want to give you the insights and the advice that I have gathered over the years on how you can basically stop overstimulating your brain. So what is the solution to this? Well, step one is we need to understand how dopamine works. When I actually figured out how dopamine works, a lot of stuff clicked in my brain for me on how I can avoid overstimulating my brain. So I want you to understand dopamine like a swimming pool. And the swimming pool is full to the brim, right to the edge of water. And that is your baseline dopamine. And when you do something that is very enjoyable, like go watch porn or go scroll through TikTok, you get waves in that pool. It's like someone jumping into the pool and creating a big wave. When that happens, water from that wave seeps out of the pool and goes over the edges of the pool and is lost forever. And this means the pool goes down slightly. Your baseline dopamine, the natural amount of dopamine that your brain releases, slightly decreases. And the more and more content, porn, memes, reels, videos that you scroll through on TikTok, the more and more you do this throughout the days, weeks, and months, the more splashes you get in that pool. And your dopamine slowly drops below baseline, keeps going down and down until your swimming pool gets very dry and empty. And the only way you can actually feel joy and be motivated to do anything in the day is to create bigger and bigger waves in that pool, just so that you can feel good again. Because when that water is high, that is when you feel the most motivated, that's when you feel the best. And in order to feel like that again, you need to start creating bigger and bigger waves. But again, the more waves we create, the more frequently we create waves in that pool, the more water we're going to lose from that pool, and your dopamine is going to go down. And right now you've been spending hours and hours a day scrolling through your phone, scrolling through Reddit, TikTok, watching porn, overstimulating your brain, watching films on a night, watching YouTube on your laptop. You're just constantly consuming content, entertaining content, and overstimulating your dopamine, creating these big waves in the pool, and now your pool is dry and empty. So no wonder your brain has become reliant on any kind of dopamine that it can get. This is how you get stuck in this dopamine cycle. So the way we fix this is we need to remove the digital crutch that is dopamine. Right now, your brain relies on getting dopamine because it's overstimulated. So this is the same as if you were an alcoholic. If you were an alcoholic, you would stop using alcohol and refrain from drinking alcohol in order to recover. And right now you might be asking yourself, okay, so I guess social media is the problem. Well, social media isn't actually the problem. Social media is the solution. Content and dopamine for your brain right now is the solution to your brain having a very low dopamine baseline. So social media right now is the solution. So rather than thinking of it as the problem, it is currently the solution. We need to create a new solution for your brain to get its dopamine from. The first place that we need to start is we need to remove this digital crutch. So delete social media. Simple as that. I have deleted social media and haven't had social media now for over 500 and something days. It's like a year and a half. And that is one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And be ruthless with this. Just go through your phone. If this video is going to provide you with any value, you need to go through your phone and you need to start deleting those social media apps. And a lot of people are going to click off this video at this point because they're not going to do it. They're not going to want to do that. They're not committed enough. But if you're the kind of person who is actually willing to do this and you really want to make a big change in your life, like when I described the scenario at the start of this video, you have work that you want to do, you have a business in mind, you don't want to be working for someone else for the rest of your life, and you want to go do some cool shit, but you have this digital crutch where you are reliant on social media. You can't focus on the task. You can't focus on recording videos. You can't focus on working on the business because you keep going over to your phone to go on it. Like, you are not going to be able to get out of that situation and go and make a big, successful business for yourself and have that focus to actually put the time and energy into a business if you don't take my advice. So the guys who are serious about this, and if you're still watching this, just pause the video, go onto your phone and delete Reddit, delete Instagram, delete Snapchat, delete TikTok. I don't care if you talk to your friends on there. I don't care if you're talking to girls on there. It doesn't matter. If you are serious about this point in your life, if you're between like 18 and 25 and you really want to get this business set up and you don't want to be working for someone else anymore, and you want to do what I've done, where I've been able to leave my job and just focus on the YouTube, then take my advice. I don't have any social media apps on my phone. There's nothing to do on my phone. There's nothing to watch. There's no content. There's no dopamine coming from my phone. My phone is used as a business tool to help me succeed further in this business, to help me fight through my work that I need to do in the day. It's used to record videos, it's used to listen to podcasts, and that is about it. And I want you to get to that same point. You need to remove this digital crutch that you're relying on, right? You're on this digital crutch and you need to get rid of that crutch. You need to kind of go cold turkey and just get rid of these social media apps. If you haven't done this and you're not serious about this and you don't really care about setting up a business and you don't really care about self-improvement and you kind of are happy to have that chill time where you can watch social media, where you can scroll through TikTok and have a bit of a laugh, fine, click off this video. This channel isn't for you. This channel is about people who want to be serious about this, right? So that is the best advice I can give you. Delete social media. You don't need it. If you need to talk to your friends, if you need to talk to girls, go and get their number. Go into the WhatsApp group chat and message them on WhatsApp if you want to organize stuff. Text message them or just call them. So now that you've ruthlessly gone through and deleted the social media apps that are feeding this dopamine loop that you are currently trapped in, we can actually go ahead and repair the brain, okay? We need to repair the brain from this dopamine trap that it's been locked in for probably years. Which leads me on to step 3. We need to find the new dopamine. So remember when I said that for alcoholics, alcohol is actually the solution to their problems. That is why they are alcoholics. Now, for you, social media and dopamine and stimulation from your phone, from your devices, has been the solution for you. We need to find a new solution for your brain. And this is the fun part. This is where self-improvement comes in. Walking, running, listening to podcasts whilst you're on a walk, going and training and lifting weights at the gym, boxing, writing, drawing, art. All these things can be used as healthy alternatives to stimulation, overstimulation in your brain. This is what I personally did. As soon as I deleted social media, the first things that I did more of and that I wasn't doing before was I went to the gym more consistently. I was training weights more consistently. I went for walks a lot more consistently. Pretty much 99% of the year, I would go for a walk every day unless the weather was very bad. I didn't go for a walk, but pretty much every day of the year, I was going for a walk. And then you can actually replace the time that you would have spent scrolling through your phone and overstimulating your brain with the work. You can get excited about focus, okay? I get excited to record these videos and to be productive and to work on this channel. Just like my previous video, I talked about the period of rewardlessness when you first start out a business as a beginner, whether it's a YouTube channel or SMMA or writing. There is a period where you will not get paid, and if you focus on money, then you are going to fail because you're not going to make money straight away. And in that video, I talk about how you need to make the actual tasks and the work that you do the reward. In and of itself, the work is the reward. And this is going to fit in so nicely with healing your brain from overstimulation, because you can make the work and the focus on the business and that feeling of working towards a goal and working towards a mission that you have set for yourself, that becomes the dopamine source. You actually working becomes the thing that is stimulating your brain. So when we get out of this period of overstimulation, we finally break free from this dopamine cycle, we can focus on focusing, and that is going to heal our brain. Remember the swimming pool analogy that I said at the start of this video. The actual act of you going for walks, going to the gym, replacing the dopamine intensive tasks with more healthy self-improvement sort of habits, that is going to naturally make your dopamine levels rise up again. Because when you stop creating those huge waves in the swimming pool from watching porn or drinking alcohol or taking drugs or stimulating your brain through social media, when you stop creating those big waves in the pool naturally slowly rises back up again and you can start to feel good. And this leads me on to step 4, which is you need to train your focus like it's a muscle. Imagine you go to the gym and it's your first ever workout in the gym. No one there is going to expect you to be able to bench press 100 kg. That's like a big goal for like a lot of gym guys. One of the big goals is to bench press 100 kg, and you are not going to be able to do that on your first workout because you've never trained before, right? You probably have a small chest, you're skinny, you don't have big triceps, you're not going to be able to do it. And it's the same with focus. You're not going to be expected to suddenly go from someone who spends 3-4 hours a day scrolling through TikTok to jumping straight into a business and being able to produce a bunch of videos and be really focused and be really on it with business. I'm not saying after you've watched this video and you've done the actions that I've provided to you, that I've recommended for you to do, that you are going to be able to go and focus for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day like the people that you listen to on podcasts can, because they've been training the focus muscle for 10 years, right? They have built up a business that requires their focus, their time and their energy, and they've been able to train their focus like a muscle in the body. So now that we have got rid of the overstimulation and the digital crutch and we have restored our swimming pool of dopamine back to baseline and have a good healthy amount of dopamine, we can actually focus and train our brain in the way that it's designed to be used. Your brain is not a vessel to have dopamine spikes. Your brain isn't just some random thing that just is designed to be overstimulated and have fun and watch content and consume. Your brain is used to think, it's used to come up with ideas, and it's used to focus. It's used to drive you forwards. You are your brain. You need to treat it like a muscle and you need to train it. So how do you train your brain to focus better? Well, you just need to do the tasks that require your focus. So me recording this video right now is me training my focus because I'm having to be fully focused on talking to this camera. I was fully focused on scripting this video before I press record, and that requires my focus, and I'm training my focus. And the longer I can do this for in my life, the better I'm going to get at creating content. The more consistent I'm going to be on YouTube, the more my dopamine is going to go back up to baseline, the less I can consume content, and the more that I can produce content and focus on work, the better I'm going to become. The better I'm going to be at becoming someone who can focus, is what I meant to say. Another thing that can help you focus better is allow yourself to be bored. Allow yourself to have that time just to be bored. We're not designed as creatures to be constantly stimulated through our phones, through YouTube, through anything. We need to have moments in our life, in our day, where we are bored. That's fine. Sometimes when I'm the most bored, that is when I get the best ideas for this channel. To give you an example with my car, the radio doesn't work in my car, so that was like broken, all the buttons and stuff, like the whole center console doesn't work. It's a very old car, but the radio doesn't work. So what I did to fix that was I went and bought a little speaker that I could put in my car and listen to music whilst I was driving to work. It takes about half an hour for me to drive to work, so I wanted to have a little speaker in my car that I could listen to music with. And then there was one morning where I got in my car to go to work and I noticed that the glove box was open and then the driver's side glove box was open. And I realized that actually I think someone's been in my car. And I rang my dad. I said, "Oh, were you in my car last night?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, great." I looked for my speaker, which I would usually take from the thing and put into the glove box, and it wasn't there. My speaker was stolen, basically. There was a group of lads that went round, that were trying door handles, and stupidly I'd not locked my car, which is silly. But yeah, they managed to open up my car. They took my little speaker. It was like £30, these little knobheads. They fucking took my speaker. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so I didn't have a speaker. And out of kind of like pure spite, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get another speaker for my car. I'm just going to accept now that I just don't listen to music in my car. And that was kind of like a blessing in disguise, because now I listen to nothing in my car. It's silent when I drive to work and when I drive back from work. And it's a bit boring, right? If you drive, you know that you just kind of sat there. If it's silent, it's pretty boring. You kind of go into autopilot mode when you're driving. And that is sometimes when I get the best ideas come to me. So the whole point of this section of the video is allow yourself the time to not have to be consuming, listening to music, watching videos. You can have moments in the day where you just aren't doing anything. And that's in a weird way more productive than watching a video like this, perhaps self-improvement related content, because you allow that time for your brain to actually do what it's supposed to do, which is to think. Your brain doesn't need to be just consuming content all day. It can have that opportunity to think and come up with its own ideas. And that is how you're going to train your ability to focus, to think, to be creative. If you want to run an online business, if you want to run a YouTube channel, if you want to do anything online nowadays, you need to have the ability to think. You are a creative person. If you've got this far into the video, you're probably an ambitious person who's also creative. You've got some ideas and you need to let those ideas flourish. You need to let those ideas sprout up like a plant in your brain and kind of grow into a tree so that you can actually use them to give to the world, to give value to the world. And that's how you build a business. You need the ideas first though. And if you are constantly kind of blocking your brain with traffic, with consumption, with content, you leave no room for the ideas to naturally appear in your brain, because you are kind of implanting ideas from other people, external concepts and ideas from the content that you consume, which is not allowing your brain the room to think on its own. So the last thing I'll leave you with is you are a dopamine addict. And after this video, hopefully you can become a recovering dopamine addict, and you need to treat yourself like a recovering addict. You've kind of gone cold turkey, right? You've deleted social media and you are now training your brain back up to be able to think on its own, to be able to focus, and letting your swimming pool of dopamine slowly rise back up. So you need to treat every day now like you are a recovering dopamine addict. You should no longer have any digital crutches on your phone that is taking up your time and attention, and you should now be able to work and focus on that business, on that idea that you want to focus on. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have, please leave me a comment, please leave me some feedback. If you are interested in a full free course on how to remove social media from your phone and then also keep off of social media, that's the key, not to re-download it. If you check out the top link in the description, I've got a full free course. You can go check that out. It doesn't cost any money. And I'd appreciate if you let me some feedback on that as well. I'm always trying to improve. Okay, bro, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.